Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll guide you through building a Laravel CRUD application with React. We will integrate Laravel, React and Inertia to create dynamic and interactive functionality for creating, reading, updating and deleting data. By end of this tutorial, you'll have a fully functional CRUD functionality and real-time updates to enhance user experience. Let's get started. First of all, I'm creating one directory where I'll set up my Laravel project. So let us name it as Laravel React CRUD. Okay. Now jump into the directory and run composer create project Laravel/Laravel and dot so that it creates the required files inside that repository. Okay, it is done. And now let us open the same folder. Um, okay, so as you can see, everything came. Now let us install the Laravel Breeze. I'll paste these links in the description so you can just open those links and copy and paste the same commands. Laravel Breeze is uh, installed. Now as you can see, the second command was this one, so I'll run the same. Select React with Inertia, PHP unit, and that's it. Now you can see React modules are installed as well. So I'll run npm run dev and it is working. Now let us run a php artisan serve. Oh sorry, uh, by mistake I have written php artisan space serve space serve. Okay, now it is running. See, now by default role login and register functionalities also came, and inside views you can see everything is created, and inside JS you'll see all the React modules. Let us create one user. It is working, and let us type some password along with the validations. As you can see, the validations are working too. So if you want a app with basic authentication, a quick app, you can use Laravel Breeze. See the dashboard and everything, and you can customize it as per your convenience. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so let us run our first command to create the essentials. That is PHP artisan make model and the model name, and after that you'll be adding one more parameter, that is -mcr, which basically will allow you to create a migration controller and one model. So as you can see, these three classes are created: model, controller, and a migration file. And the controller have predefined functions which you can use further, like we will be using further to create the CRUD operation. So now let us jump to creating migrations. So I'll add two more columns here, named as name and description. So name would be a varchar type, so I'm taking string, and description would be text which can have the null values. So I'll adding one more call to the function, that is nullable, and now I'm running the migration. So it ran, and now let us create the other essentials like services, request, and resources. So I usually create services to interact with the models, but you can directly add the queries and everything on controller. But I believe creating services, it make your code more cleaner. And task resource. Okay, now that is done. Now let us create a request, task request. So basically it will have the validation rules. So I'll be setting the authorized to true, and my columns were name and description. For them I'll be setting the validations. So for name it would be required, and it has to be string, and max 255 or max 255 is not required. And description would be it is not required, so it is string and it could be nullable. Okay, that is done. Let us remove these functions, but yeah, we'll be using these functions in upcoming tutorials, but for now I'm removing them. um, so I'll be creating a constructor here, which will basically call my service class. So I'm creating a variable named as task service and creating a constructor in which I'll assign a task service instance to task service variable. So basically I'm creating the object of that class. Dollar this task service and new task service. Just for reference, I'm writing some of the functions which I'll be creating uh, uh, in future when I'll be creating the CRUD operations. I mean, you'll be able to see that in my next tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be covering the Laravel part only. And as in index, I'll need a function which will basically show all the values. Create will have something like create, and store will have create would be to show the create screen, but for now I'm removing that. Store and create, either we can use the same function like create or update, or you can use separate function also, but I believe if single function can do both the work, then let us use the single function only. These are just naming, I mean, I'm just writing the names. I'll develop these functions afterward. Okay, I'll copy these functions for now. Show, create or update, and delete. I'm selecting multiple. Delete, create, and show. Command D and Command C. And here I'll be creating these functions. So I'll use the multi-selectors and public function space. Yeah. So this is how I basically proceed whenever I start creating any project. So I'll just create the base like this, and then on the basis of this, I create the whole project and have delivered successful project for my clients as well by using the same infra. So these are the functions which I have created. Inside these I'll write all the logic and everything, which I'll also, these services function will be used for interacting with the models. So this one is done. Index will not have any parameter because it will basically fetch all the list, everything. And this will have the task and the dollar request. And for create or update, I'm adding one more parameter. So if the task is null, then it means we have to create. If I'm sending something in the post, then it means I have to update. So hope you have understood till here. You can pause and re-watch this again if you have not understood anything. So let us create a folder named as task, and inside that I'll create a page named as index.jsx. Okay, and here I'll be, showing that list of all the tasks and everything. Okay, that only this thing is required in the
a Laravel React setup, and whenever you'll set up it using Breeze, it will automatically handle every route and everything. So you need to define the routes on web.php, and using Inertia you have to call them. So okay, so let us create one more link here alongside dashboard, named as tasks. So I'll go to authenticated layout which is being used. I'll copy the same thing, nav link copied, and let us paste it here only alongside this dashboard. Okay, paste, and let us rename that to task. Okay, and now let us create a route. So I'm creating a resource route. So resource route, basically what does it facilitates you with the multiple routes, like get all the result, post, put, patch, so like that, create, destroy, and everything. So you have to just define one line of code here, and whenever you will pass different methods in your request, it will automatically fetch different functions on the basis of what method you have passed in the request. So I'm defining this. Let us name it as tasks, and I don't want to use I'll include task controller. I don't want to use except that. Okay, so it is created. Okay, yeah, it looks good now. Let us see. Oh, it is not coming. Something is wrong. Okay, I have to change this because I have copied the dashboard into the index. So changing into index, changing the name to tasks. Um, this also, I am a task page. Save. Oh, still it's not working. I think there is something I did wrong. Um, okay, this one I have to, yeah, I have to call the inertia to basically render that page too. So inertia, that is a package which will be installed by default when you'll install the React using Laravel Breeze. Also, I have to rename this to tasks because I have named my route as task instead of task. So see, you can see it is working now. Okay, so now I'll add other columns. Action, which basically will contain edit and delete buttons, links, or buttons, whatever you prefer. So I'm adding edit button, and let us develop that functionality, and then I'll proceed for the delete one. Also, I'll tell you two methods to update or store the information. So whatever you would like. I'm using Tailwind classes here. I'll add the link of Tailwind official documentation so you can use the classes as per your convenience. So you can see the edit button came when you click on this. This error is coming because we have deleted that edit function which you might have seen in my previous videos. So I'm adding that one again. So this edit function basically shows you the edit page. And it will take a parameter named as task. I'm passing the task because I have to show the pre-filled information. In edit, I'll be getting the task ID, or basically the task which I'll be passing to my show by task function, and then uh, I'll be using the task details which I'll get from this function, and will be showing them in edit.jsx, which I just created. So show by task, okay, so this is done, this is clear. Okay, uh, Let us copy this content and let us paste it into edit. After that, we will, instead of table, we will use a form. And for now, show by task will return a task resource. And I'm passing $task in that. Edit. Okay, now let us run PHP artisan tinker to create one entry so that we can see that on the front end. This entry needs to be created because as we are creating the CRUD operation, so the first operation would be the read only. I mean basically reading the values. So you can directly enter from the database, but I'm using tinker to insert the value. And okay, that is done. Now let us update this edit function. I'm taking a state form data and using a set form data function which will basically set this state, and taking the by default values name, description and ID. This task I have passed in the inertia, which is used to show the pre-filled data. So task is coming as a prop. I think I have used an array. Let me add the validation, I mean the exceptions, so that if it doesn't work, it should basically pass empty string, and I'm changing that to object. Okay, so now it works fine. And similarly I'll set these values, so it will be having form data dot id and let us console task once and check what values we are getting from the data API. Refresh it, console. Oh, the values are coming inside the data parameter. So we have to update this a bit. Task dot data dot name. Similarly here, removing this one. This is correct. And form data dot name, form data dot description, because form data is the state in which we have saved. So you can see the pre-filled data came. Okay, I'm taking this button as a type submit. So this is one method in which you pass the action, and when you click on submit, it basically goes to this and update the data. So, I need to create the show also, because after updating it, the screen which it will show, that is basically the show function does. So we need to create that one too. So public function show. And show function will take the perimeter task and $task, and I'll be returning the same edit screen also. You can return something else too. So now refresh. Okay, this one is correct. That is correct. And just let me verify it and add this create or update, because when the put function is working, it is basically going to this create or update. Sorry, this show function, it performs the task and then render the same task edit screen. You can redirect back to, and let us create this function create or update. So task find and this function, if dollar task update. I don't think this dollar task is required because we are already passing that in create or update. So I'll be removing that. That is correct now. See, now let us see if it is working. I am testing this description. Save. And now let us go back, and I have to develop this screen as well. So it will basically contain all the tasks. So the read operation. So for that I'll use task.length just to first to add exception that if there are more than one task in the response we are getting, only then append this one as show no records found. So I'm using the task.map function, paste it inside this one. And in the other I'll take a table row with call span 3, and inside that I'll write no records found, something like that. And text align center so that it shows in the middle. Okay. Now, oh yeah, the data is coming in task.data and similarly task.map. Now let us see. See, the description came properly. Oh, these are not editable because I have missed one thing, that is handle change. So I am adding a on change event. So I'm adding a handle input change. I have added a I'm creating a function handle input change. It basically updates the state so that whenever there's a change, it updates the state automatically. So that is done. You can pause the video here and copy or paste the same code. You can see this is working. This one should work now. Save, go back, and it is working. So this is one method. The other method is passing the using the on submit events. So you can choose whatever. If you want to use this one, you can pause the video here. You can skip this part, but I think it is better to use on submit handle because it gives you more access. Sorry, more control over the functions. I'm using Inertia JS for this one. You have to include this Inertia JS as well. So I'm installing this one. So add the rate npm I and let me use the 20th version. By default, mine one is set to 20, but in your case, if it is already 20 or 18, so you do not need to do this one. Okay, I have installed that. Now you can see it is working. Now let us create one more function, delete, and text should be a red or background. Let us keep one class only, that is text red. Remove the other one. See that it. I'll add padding on the left. March. Yeah, let us add padding left. PL. Sorry, PL. And here also I have to use on click function. So that on click it basically hit an API which will pass the which will use the delete method and will delete that particular task. So it will have task ID. So I have to update that on click because if this is how you are writing, it will keep on executing. Inertia, first parameter would be the type of method delete, and in the round braces you'll have uh, the route and the response, I mean the function which basically gives you on success and on error responses. So that is done. uh, I think I have used 2 times the braces. I have to delete once, and here update this one. So now it is done. Let us delete. It is not working. Oh, sorry, I forgot to create a delete function. So let us create the delete function that will basically call $task delete. That is just done. Now refresh it, delete. It got deleted. And similarly, I'll be creating a create screen. Sorry, create function. So create button. For that, I have to create a create method. Here I'll create public function create task, and it will not include any of these parameters because we are creating the function. And here I'll add a exception that if there isn't any task, that in that case it should not throw any error. So this is the create screen, and if there is any task it will work as an edit screen. And on handle submit, um, you can add a condition. So this is the benefit of this other method over the previous one. In that one you have to create 2 pages, one for create, one for edit. But if you are using handle submit, something like this structure, then it on the single page only it will work. So I'm using the inertia post. Post will basically hit the store method. Put will basically hit the uh, that show method. Create, delete. Let us create Akash Chaudhary. That is my name. I am creating tutorials. Save. Go back. It is created. Edit and testing. Save. Go back.
I hope you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more content.